been commuting on motorcycles quite frequently over the last month or so. And it's pros and cons to this when you commute on your bike a whole lot, like I've been doing lately. And I'm trying to figure out, do the pros outweigh the cons? But I'm gonna let y'all help me with this.
Infinit Ryda.
I want to start with the positives of commuting on your bike, which there's quite a few of them. One of the big ones for me, and the reason I started to commute on my bike a lot more, is the savings on how much I've been spending on gas lately, since my Honda Civic has been having some issues and I haven't been able to drive it as much, which that's my gas saver. And if I want to be in a vehicle, I got to pull out the truck, which the truck doesn't burn a ton of gas, but it burns more than I'd like to spend in gas weekly. So I started to commute on the bikes, and I'll just rotate between all of them. I've been riding the Ducati probably the most, I'd say, between the Ducati and the Sportster the most, and then probably the mini bike and the V Rod are like tied about how much I've been riding those to save on gas, when in actuality, if I was on the mini bike more, I'd be saving a whole lot more gas, because that thing gets insane gas mileage. Another benefit of commuting on the motorcycle is the relief that I have after a long day and then I ride home. The relief of just that ride home is just so peaceful. I've been taking different routes home almost every single day, which is pretty cool. I like the fact that I'm taking different routes home each day. You know, it just clears my head on the way home, even though most of the time I'm talking to myself on the ride home. And what I've learned is, a lot of times I'll take longer getting home than I do in my truck, when technically I can get home a lot quicker on the motorcycle than I can in the truck. But I'm actually enjoying my commute back home. So I take a little bit longer, I take some different routes, I take a longer route. And I noticed that whenever you're on a motorcycle, your route is like like it's all over the place. But when you're in a vehicle, typically you take a straight shot to where you got to go. But when you're out riding, you know, you're all over the place. You're turning down roads you've never been down before. You're exploring. You're just out here adventuring and enjoying this motorcycle thing. Another pro is, the more you commute on your motorcycle, I don't know if y'all have seen my video in the past where I was talking about, you know, master your motorcycle. The more you ride it, the better you're going to get on that specific bike. And you have to do that with each bike to be able to completely master your motorcycles. The more you commute, the more time you're spending on your bike, the quicker you're going to be able to master that bike and become a lot more comfortable with it. And the more I've been doing this commuting, I'm learning that I'm getting a lot more comfortable on the Ducati. Not to say that I was uncomfortable on it at any point, because I've been riding for so long, but I feel like the more time you spend on it, the more you learn it, the more you learn its characteristics, and that makes it a lot easier for you to ride the bike, and it makes you safer on that bike because you understand how your bike's going to react to certain situations. Another thing I've learned is I'm reducing my stress tremendously, because riding a motorcycle, in my opinion, reduces your stress levels. And the more I'm spending time on these bikes, the less stress I'm having. Because one thing that really stresses me out is being stuck in traffic, having road rage, getting upset because people don't know how to drive, this, that, and the other. And you're still going to experience that while you're out on a motorcycle. Definitely, 100% you're going to experience that. You might experience it more, but for some reason it's less stressful, because you can maneuver around and get away from those people who are irritating you, versus when you're in a car or a truck. Sometimes if you're like stuck in traffic, it's a little difficult to get away from the people who are seriously getting on your nerves. Now, commuting on your motorcycle is not all sugar plums and butterflies. There's definitely some cons to it as well. One of those cons being, you're out here in the elements, so you've got to deal with whatever's going on as far as the weather. You can't control your temperature. You know, in a vehicle, I can cut on the AC if I get hot. If I'm out here riding, the only thing I can do to cool off is get to moving, like get the bike moving or take off some gear, or you know, it's not a lot of things you can do to cool off when you're out riding. And then you got to think about it, your motorcycle's creating heat too, so it's like you're sitting on a little heater dealing with the heat from the sun. And then another thing is, you've got to worry about if it's going to rain, or if it's going to be some type of crazy wind occurring, and you've got to physically be out there in them elements, putting your body through them. I mean, your body's being exposed to those elements. So that's definitely a con, and I'm experiencing that right now. It's not really hot, but it's definitely warmer than it's been in the last couple of days. I got on a mesh jacket, but this isn't my mesh AF jacket. This is like my semi, like, it's mesh, but it doesn't keep me as cool as my other jacket that I have. But that's because it was cooler this morning, so I put this one on versus the other one. But now I'm out here, and there's a little bit of traffic, so I'm not being stupid and doing all the crazy lane splitting to get through it. And I'm on my Ducati Monster, which Monsters run a little bit warm. They're air-cooled motorcycles, so I'm feeling the heat from this bike, and I'm feeling the heat from the sun. Another con is I've got to carry everything that I need to bring with me wherever I'm going on my back. And to be fair, one of my bikes does have bags on it, but I don't typically use those bags. I can't say I've used those bags too much, so I'm always got a backpack on my back, and sometimes I'm carrying a lot of shit on my back. Sometimes I got a laptop, a lunch, some drinks, camera equipment, lenses. I have to keep on loading it up. It gets quite heavy, and you'll feel that a little bit on your back. Sometimes your backpack will rest on your seat. There's times where you're going to feel that, and that's a little bit inconvenient too. And that also makes your back get sweaty and hot because there's no flow of air around your back because you got something, you know, strapped to your back. Another con that I've been experiencing quite a bit is some mornings I want to go get a coffee. It should be decaf because I'm not supposed to be drinking a lot of caffeine, but I get like one caffeine drink a week. I do. If y'all want to know why I'm not supposed to be drinking caffeine, you can ask down in the comments, and I'll make a video and explain that. Some people might not really care. I want to stop at like Dunkin' or not Starbucks. I don't stop at Starbucks too much. I don't have Starbucks type of money, but sometimes I want to stop at Dunkin' when they have a special and get a drink. Where in the hell am I going to carry my drink? Unless I put it in like a canteen type thing and stuff it in the bag, but then that's more weight on my back, and a lot of times I don't even have room for that. So that's a con. It's kind of tough for me to pick up like some snacks, a coffee, things like that while I'm on the bike. Another con, depending on how long I ride or how long my commute is, my ass might get sore. I don't got the most comfortable seats on my bike. On the V Rod, I feel like that's my most comfortable seat. It's the sundowner seat. That's pretty comfortable. My ass usually don't hurt after riding that. But on my other bikes, they're okay as far as comfort, but if you're on them for an extended period of time in the riding position, your butt is gonna feel a little bit sore. Unless you got like an iron ass, which if you got an iron ass, hey, more power to you. Iron ass, love it, love your iron ass. But if you don't, you're gonna have a little bit of some sore buns if you're commuting some serious distance. And I'll just make this one here my last con. It happened the other day while I was out riding. If you're riding and you get a cramp or a Charlie horse or something in your leg, oh my Lord, does it suck. The other day I had to ride with one leg sticking out like that, and like it just sucked. Because I didn't want to stop and pull over and walk the Charlie horse off. I just kept it moving, kept on riding with it. And being in that riding position where your knees are bent, depending on what bike you're on. I think I was actually on this when I caught that Charlie horse. It sucked. But if you agree with these cons and these pros, comment down below. Add some more down in the comments. What's some pros to riding to commuting on your motorcycle, and what's some cons to commuting on your motorcycle? Let's get this conversation started. I hope that you're subscribing to the channel. You know, that makes me happy. I check my subscriptions at least once or twice a day to see how many people have subscribed. If you're subscribing, I know you like the content. If you're not subscribing, then maybe you like the content, or maybe you just don't. I don't know. But I love to see subscriptions, thumbs ups, comments, all of that good stuff. Also, I'm gonna start messing with my website a little bit more here now. So definitely start checking out the infinitryda.com. I was supposed to design some new shirts quite a while ago, but I've been so busy. But I'm gonna jump back on that as well. I'm also try to start putting on there places I plan to ride. So if anyone would like to ever meet me, they'll know where I'm riding to, and we can meet up. Long as I don't run into no crazies. If that happens, that's over. I'm done with that. But I'm gonna check y'all out in that next one. Getting a little toasty here, and yeah, I'm gonna cut my headphones on, and I'm gonna rock out without my out. You know the saying. Y'all know them. All right, I'll see y'all later. Y'all get out there on two wheels. Love y'all. Deuces.